These are my rock hard skids. That's the fuel skid, and painted them. I painted them. They come black, but I painted them camo. That's the transfer case skid, and that's the oil pan skid. I have them on my 2008 JK, and they get used a lot, especially on Unlimited with the longer wheelbase. And putting them on my new JK. I take them into shops, and people, you know, the mechanics just trip on how beat up they are. But they get, you know, they get lots of use, but they're tough and they last. So definitely recommend it if you're gonna, you know, crawl semi-hard. Definitely outlast the stock ones for sure. My JK build is getting really close. I got the winch put on this weekend, and like I said, I'm putting on the rock hard skids. But other than that, I mean, I'm really close to being done with this. As soon as I get these rock hards put on, I'll probably wait. I want to get an Atlas transfer case, since this wasn't a Ruby and it doesn't have the rock track transfer case eventually. But I've talked to a few guys and they say the Sport will hold up, you know. And then the other thing, I want to eventually get this OR-Fab roll cage, because the stock roll cage on a Wrangler is just from the B pillar forward. So that's the B pillar forward. The stock roll cage on a JK isn't even a roll cage. It's just enough to pass, I guess, the dot specs for rollover. So this OR-Fab one's pretty cool, and you can get the foot kit, which goes all the way into the floor. Doesn't hook up to the frame, so they call it a sport cage, not a roll cage, because it doesn't hook up to the frame. But I think it's pretty tough and gives you a little added security. So I want to do that on my. So I'm putting these skids on my 2013 JK, and I already have them on that one. That's a 2008, and I'll show you from underneath. I think it's one of the best things I put on this thing, because they definitely get used, especially on the Unlimited. But that's the gas tank right there, and then you go, that's the right here's the transfer case one. Very concave. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely been beat up. It's extremely concave, but still holding. And then up there is the oil pan one, which doesn't get used as much, but it's just nice to have. That's probably the trickiest one to put on, because you have some extra brackets and stuff. The fuel tank one over there, you remove some bolts, but you just keep the stock, I guess you could call it, skid plate on for double protection. The fuel tank is actually just plastic, so you definitely need something there if you're gonna wheel semi-hard. And then this is the evaporative canister one, which doesn't get used a lot, get used a little. I realized yesterday when I thought I was done, I forgot to get these two bolts. One goes right here. They go into the stock skid plate. So you got to do one here, and you got to do one right here on the rear. So I jacked it up because my drive shaft was conflicting with that one. Got to get those two fit in. So if you do these, don't forget those two inboard bolts right along the drive shaft. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So I'm trying to get my rock hard skids done after work here, and I had to take these 4 bolts loose on the cross member for the transfer case skid to put in the oil pan skid, which is up here. So I got to put that bolt back in, and then there's 2 brackets up here that you have to go up and hook up to the shock mounts, or the I think they're body mounts. So trying to get that done, but almost done with this. But that's the rock hard oil pan skid, and it's nice because it has a trap door here that you can loosen to change your oil. So in installing this oil pan, the brackets hook up there to the motor mounts here, and then come down here and hook on at the front of the oil pan skid. That one up there was a pain. Well, no, yeah, that one up there was a pain right here. It took me a while, but got it. And then on the other side, it hooks up right here on the skid and up here on the motor mount. So that's it, and then it just hooks on down here at the cross member. I've got one more to do right here, but after that you're pretty much done, except for this evaporative, or not evaporative, it's like, I guess on the old one, that's where the you gotta put this on was. Also right here. It hooks on there. But that's pretty much it. I'm almost done with my skid plates. Now I gotta go out and use them this weekend. So I got my lights on now. Not hooked up yet, but they're on, and then I got these ones here and there. Also have some on the front for spotters. And then other than that, just eventually, pretty much done, just eventually gonna have to, you know, like I said, roll cage and transfer case, but real close. Gonna go wheeling this weekend, head up to Big Bear and give it a try. Hope everything goes fine, hope everything works. So that's it, I got it all done. I got my fuel tank done, transfer case right here, and just got done putting in my oil pan. That's probably the toughest one. It's not too bad. I came home after work and got it done in about an hour and a half. And ready to go wheeling this weekend. I just need to now just get some lights on this thing and take it out and beat it up.